to Good Morning Anambra Thursday edition. I'm glad to be here and I'm sure you are too. Thank you for joining us. My name is Sijama Uche and as it stands now, we're going to bring you newspaper review this morning. Do stand by. Okay, welcome again. Joining me this morning to look at what the papers are saying, Mr. Charles Subi, a public affairs analyst. Mr. Charles Subi, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
Okay. And then Chief Okoye Njaba, public affairs analyst. Did I get that name correct?
Yes, Chief Okoye Njaba.
Okay, Okoye Njaba. Okay, welcome, sir. Public affairs analyst he is.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you once more for joining us. Let's begin from the beginning. Anambra State government vaccinates 20,000 children to mitigate measles outbreak in 9 council areas. Plans to intensify awareness campaign. Saludo intensifies fight against insecurity, imposes 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew on 8 local governments. Anambra Budget and Economic Planning Ministry gives breakdown of revised draft budget. Anambra State government consoles husband of Hariri Jubril killed by gunmen alongside 4 children. 2022 World Hypertension Day. Anambra State government holds awareness work in all cautions against unhealthy lifestyle. So many stories to look at this morning, but let's see how far we can go as we'll do it very, very fast to be able to touch the newspapers. Okay, Anambra State government vaccinates 20,000 children to mitigate measles outbreak. It's a long time we stopped hearing about measles as if I'm coming to you, Chief Njaba.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is a welcome development because they said that health is wealth. Do you understand? And anything about life is so much important to whatever we are doing on earth. That is why when it concerns children, because when you are talking about children, you are talking about tomorrow, not only today, and even next tomorrow, and so on. So it is a welcome development because if you check what is happening now, you will see that the measles attack on our children has been reduced to the lowest level. In the sense that this issue of vaccination, that's why going from house to house, has just helped a lot. So I think it is a nice development if the momentum will be sustained, you understand, within our houses. Because even though I don't have a child that can be immunized for measles, but I know that people are being given birth to every day.
Oh, yes.
So I think whether they do it in the hospital or the various houses, I think is a welcome development. So
okay.
I would just say kudos to them.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, Saludo intensifies fight against insecurity, not just measles. Imposes 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew on 8 local government areas. We saw that one yesterday in his statewide broadcast and press conference where he isolated some flash local government areas when it comes to insecurity.
Yeah, I think what the governor has done is quite commendable. I listened to him yesterday. He's giving hope to Anambra, and he called on communities to join him in the fight against this insecurity that is developing by the day. If you observe, I don't think the major challenge we are having in Anambra State has been a nighttime attack. Okay, but this also will help. This will go a long way. In the Anambra will have to wake up to join the governor. I've observed him direct my route. I said the governor must succeed. He's going through a lot. He's not sleeping on his horse. He's restless. We've seen the budget. everything. He's trying to touch everything at the same time. Just few months into the office, he didn't expect to see this. What he's seeing, if he's a beginner, he would have been overwhelmed. If Soludo is a beginner, someone that has not been within the powers, he would have been overwhelmed. But it seems he's quite experienced. He's not rushing into it. Otherwise, he would have made serious mistakes.
Oh, yes.
He has to take his time, bit by bit. Security issues. He meets with the security chiefs. Then, other measures too, giving hope to the people.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen the budget, talking about the reverse budget, so that he will have enough to tackle the lots of challenges. Just yesterday we saw the other companies, the Chinese companies, coming to face issues of roads. Some people were saying, why not use local? He said it before now that he's going to declare state of emergency on Anambra Road, and you don't expect him to come with the pace others were going. He has to bring in measures. A lot of things will happen in coming months. I know that for sure.
I know that. Okay, that's government's strategy. Chief Njaba, what do you think the communities would do to help the government to mitigate insecurity too?
That's the area I am trying to come, the angle I'm trying to come from, because I've been a President General of a community.
Oh, beautiful.
In fact, I was PRO outside in this Anambra State when we were coming here for Development Digest programs. Okay. Now, frankly speaking, the way Nigeria is going now, of course, I've been saying it, Nigeria is a failed nation in many angles. So it is very, very important that we should come on board to manage some of the affairs we can do by ourselves. What is the issue of security? Traditional rulers and pre-generals and the stakeholders in various communities has to be involved. What is why in Anambra State we have to open our eyes now before the water will cover us, before it will generate to what is happening in the north.
Not just leaving it for the government to do.
It's not for government now. The way it's coming now is not for government. Every community will wake up from slumber and face security challenges in their community. Do not say that it is not your turn yet. Because if it is not your turn today, it might be your turn tomorrow. If they finish this community, they enter another community. Look at how it is just spreading within the Anambra South. Do you understand? So I think all the communities have to wake up. Traditional rulers have to wake up. They have to brace up.
Don't say it's not in your side yet.
Yes, it is everywhere now. Because when you are seeing your neighbor crying, don't be surprised that tomorrow you will be crying if you don't come to assist your neighbor. Do you understand? I help the neighboring communities that they have started attacking so that they will not come to your own. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Security issue is a very big issue in Nigeria, not just in Anambra State, but we must continue. All right. We talked about the budget, the reverse budget, and the government, the governor brought up the other day. Let's see, do you think that will take care of a lot of issues concerning the economic growth of Anambra State? Charles?
Yeah, sure. What the governor has done, he has brought up his own programs, his own agenda with the reverse budget. Because what the previous administration has done or had left for him may not be enough to contain his vision. I know Soludo to be someone who came in with a lot of aspirations for Anambra. So bringing up the reverse budget with the assistance of the House of Assembly would give him enormous ground to achieve his aims. Governor Soludo has talked about, even rails in Anambra State. He's talked about road, not what we have today. Anambra, we have a lot of roads, but none of them can be said to be of quality.
A lot of them, not just none of them.
So a lot of them, So what he's talking about now is giving Anambra a new look, so that we can compete with other states, developed states in Nigeria. Then the youth empowerment, he talked about Moiba Boy. He has a lot of visions. So what is his own program, the reverse budget would incubate all of this.
Okay,
time.
all he needs is understanding and a peace, a very peaceful environment for him to be able to operate. He went ahead to commiserate with the husband of the woman that was killed during the last Sunday fight. And then, though they were not the only people that were killed that day, but at least he has taken time to commiserate with
Just
them.
more barbaric.
Yes.
A woman with 4 kids, even 2-year-old, and I think the woman was pregnant.
Pregnant, a very bad one indeed.
It's quite disheartening.
So how do we talk to our people too? Because what the problem we had with that, it was overhyped. And some of us in the media started asking, why this? Yeah, were they the only people that were killed? That when this kind of thing come up, you should be very careful how you broadcast it. Chief Njaba.
Well, I wanted to comment on the side of budget, but that's not the issue now. Let's face where you are now. This issue of woman with his children, 4 children. My sister. If I tell you, I slept well when I heard this news, because you see the lifeless, just where they were, just lying like that, lifeless. You understand? So you can imagine, because the husband was crying yesterday when they brought him out on television. You understand? Just like he's left with nothing. He's left with nothing. He lost his wife, lost his children. So at times I begin to ask myself, what is happening in this life? Somebody will pay, because those people who are doing this, they may be married. And when they marry, they want their children to go to places. And they are killing people. They are killing fathers that can take care of children. They are killing mothers that can bring, in short, I do not know what is happening in this life.
What happened that fateful Sunday? I keep asking myself, because it was like, it happened in my community too, others, okay? So what happened that day came as a shock. Not just for what it was, but the fact that we never heard. They had a field day from Isulo, Agolo, Adazi, everywhere. And there was never a time we heard that police countered them at any point. They moved freely. There was no shootout between them and the forces. Where were they? Okay? The people that witnessed the one that Ada said, later that evening, the police came on scene and evacuated the remains and the burnt bike. So what were they doing? The next day, the police came and said, we are ready to tackle this. We love, yes, giving us hope, but we need action. We need action presently in Anambra State. Not just talking. Let the police go into the communities, because when you talk about communities getting involved, you don't expect the community to come out and get involved like that. They are equally targets. So the police should go into the communities. When you see them, then you have confidence, okay, to get involved.
I think that aspect has been taken care of now,
The
because
police
they're
is not
giving them
enough
a
to take
run
care
for
of
their
all the
money.
communities in Anambra State.
Oh, yes.
The community will not be enough. It is only when community people are involved. If you are charged, let me tell you, I know what is happening in my community. They cannot just enter my community and behave like that and go.
Okay.
Because
that is what we are saying. That this is, let's start with community policing yet. Let us police our community. Then before these people will come and help us. Okay, let's move on. The last story before we get to the papers there say 2022 World Hypertension Day. Anambra State government holds awareness work in all cautions against unhealthy lifestyle. I think we need this more, because a lot of things are giving us hypertension these days. If it's the only story you see and the gory pictures you see on the internet and a whole lot of things. What do you say, Chief Njaba?
Yes, the most clear disease as we know it in the world now is hypertension. It does not know young person, it does not know old person, because of the lifestyle people are living. Most people are keeping sleepless night. The young ones may say they are young because it cannot attack them because they are young. You go to a club, you don't sleep. Tomorrow you go to another club, you don't sleep. Let me tell you, check the history of musicians. Those people that perform their whatever they are doing in the night, like musicians, they don't stay too old.
Too long, yeah.
Because something is being removed in their life. Even consuming much, even this life we're enjoying, that's how you enjoy it, it will become attached to you.
Yes.
So we have to be very careful.
That is the lifestyle.
If your own has already been developed, you just look for the drugs and be taking it and manage your life for you to live longer. Otherwise, frankly speaking, hypertension is for every person, and even the clergies.
And it's a silent killer. We should not just neglect it. Okay, let's move on. Let's look at the papers now. The first paper in our lineup this morning is the Daily Sun. On the front page of the Daily Sun newspaper, I have 2023 anxiety crisis rock PDP with a rider there. P2B pulls out of presidential primary, alleges gang up, dumps party. Okay, but on top of that story, we see 2023 APC primary, Adamu rules out consensus. But beside the name templates of that Daily Sun, you see Soludo imposes 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew on Anambra. We have seen that story. But down there with the riders, Buhari spits fire over killing of Fatima, 4 children, is under that story. And then IPOB cancels seats at home. Buhari spits fire over killing of Fatima and 4 children. IPOB cancels seats at home. Let's look at that story before we talk about that. Okay, Makinde, Fubara, and Oba Mba, Barade, Ikune, Oboro Wuri, others win PDP Guba. Oh, congratulations to them. APC Guba, Akwa Ibom members protest imposition. OT backs out in Abia. Buhari mourns Bruno Castina terror victims, vow perpetrators will face justice. Okay, so these are the stories on the front page of the Daily Sun. But before we start talking, let's look at the next paper, which is the Leadership newspaper. And on the banner headline there says, amid protests, withdrawal, PDP picks governorship candidates, APC aspirants face delegates today. Okay, it is a primary. Obi Ekweremadu Abaribe Dom PDP withdraw from presidential governorship race. I don't know what's going on in PDP. Train attack victims rescue our loved ones, families beg PMB. That's President Muhammadu Buhari. 2023 exchange of money worrisome. This is coming from Yakubu and Jega. 32 youths killed by terrorists are not farmers, says Borno government. Killing, play everywhere. Okay, let's start with the first paper we read. I'd like to also look at that sub-story of Buhari spitting fire over killing of Fatima, though we have talked about that. Chief Njaba.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we should expect Buhari to say something like that. Mm-hmm. We are not surprised that he's spitting fire. In short, he needs to spit more fire. Do you understand? Because that's what we are talking about, the failure of Nigeria. Nigeria as a failed state. He's spitting fire. Yes, it is very good. And I'm expecting him to spit more fire too on those abducted train victims. Do you understand? Because even yesterday, some of them were brought out to talk to Nigerians, the problems they are facing, begging government to assist them. Of course, begging Buhari to assist them so that they can come out from that place. So if he is spitting fire for the woman that was killed with his children, I welcome that. But he should also spit more fire for the, what do I call it?
The train victims.
Yes, insurgency.
And people that are killed on daily basis in Kaduna,
Kaduna and everywhere. So that it will not be only Anambra State and Igbos in particular.
Okay.
Yeah, let me add to that.
Okay.
Nigeria generally nowhere is safe. You know, when we talk about what is happening in the southeast, we forget that even in southwest, south, not all over the north, killings occur on daily basis. These days in Nigeria, killing is like a normal thing. You hear 21 killed, 20 killed, 10 every day. And the president will keep hearing spitfire, condemns, reassures. This has become the order of the day. And it is high time the president, though he has just very few more months, few time to stay in the office, and this will be over. But if he can control, because we are talking about 2023 election, general election, what is happening today in Nigeria threatens that election coming. Look at Southeast. How many places in Southeast here will you talk about people coming out freely to vote? Likewise, the North. Some areas in the North for the past years have not been able to vote. Okay, voters registration that is ongoing. You saw what happened recently when they were attacked. How many people have been able to go out to apply to get their PVC? That's the problem we have in Nigeria
So
today.
there's a lot
so
of
the president,
problems.
it shouldn't be all about talking, spitting fire, and like my
Because perhaps it
co-discussant here
happened in
said,
Anambra.
he has to sit up and control this. Then again, we have the big story when we talk about PDP
Yes, that's
crisis.
2023 anxiety crisis
Yeah,
for PDP.
I want to talk about that.
Go ahead.
Because I want to quote what Senator Victor Ume said recently while talking about the Igbo agenda in the coming election. He cautioned the PDP to seat their tickets, presidential ticket, to the southeast. Some people misconstrue this whole thing between the Igbo candidacy and the southeast. This is southeast. Southeast, the Igbo is spans over 7 states.
1 second, let's see who has joined us. Yeah, hello?
Hello?
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
I'm on Anambra State, onye ọzọ.
Okay, ka ebe si akpọ anyị?
Esi nka na-akpọ ụlọ.
Kekwa n'afọ anyị?
Abamo Kalistus Okafor.
Okay, Callistus, ngwa tinye ọnụ n'okwu.
Ihe na-achịkwu maka insecurity dị na be anyị. Eji m mgbe m na-akwa ịbụ. Mgbe aka kidnapper na-eji stọpụ na-akwa ịbụ nne. Onye na-achị mgbe ahụ gosiri akwado. Wee bịa n'ụlọ na sekuriti. Distrikti ọ nọ na-akwa ịbụ. Ihe akwụkwọ anụ ndị polisi. Ahapa ka ha na-akwụchi ụzọ. Ọlesi asọspekt na moto bịa kwụsị gị. Ife nwanne anyị nwoke na-asụ anyị na-emere anyị n'iwu na anyị nwere n'otu mmepe. Ya bụ sekuriti mmepe. Like ezubulu ebe esi wee bịa. Echeziere anyị ndị piko n'otu ya. Ndị piko macha ụmụazị niile a na-eme ha. But they know what to act.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay, we have heard you.
Echeziere anyị n'ihe a. Ebupụta moto bụ ndị sekuriti ha na-akpagharị n'egwu. Onweghị ego niile amacha ụmụazị na-eme ha. Onye akọghị ịrịọ nwayọ ebe ebe ọya anya. Because ihe a na-eme na ụlọ ebe na-agbagide onye akụkọ ebe na-ekube onye a. Biko, thank you. I like him if you know.
Ọ dị mma, daalụ. Daalụ rinne. Unu anọkwa ọfụma na Kano wa? Daalụ, unu anọkwa ọfụma na Kano? Ọ dị mma. Nwayọkwa. Ọ dị mma. Daalụ. Thank you. Daalụ. Okay. Yes, you were saying something. Yes.
Because I was just talking about what you said.
So you can.
Look, I can earlier. Meanwhile, if just like
yeah,
I want the PDP.
If I want the PDP, man, before you join, yeah, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Welcome.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Obiadada. I'm calling from Germany.
Obiadada from Germany.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Make a comment.
Yeah, it's a question. I'm going to Anambra State.
Dalo one name.
Yeah, it's a you it's an Africa by especially by Anambra State. Pakatara modern like the other one, yeah, this man lost through India. Because we are never a buying up money. That was something I never knew. I never knew. I never knew. na-aba these guys bụ ndị na-abịa eme ihe a na anyị unu lebara ihe anya ọ bụrụ ka akpụta obi Igbo ka ọchị ya ka akpụta onye ka ọchị ya bụ awa problem ihe na-eme anyị sitere n'aka biko unu lebara ihe anya eke bụ na mmadụ na ozu okpuru ọ ga-abachara na be anyị nọzi aka anyị nọzi ihe niile na-eme ịbata ụlọ bụrụ anyị problem oge nekwa nke na-eme na ana ịchọ mgbe ụlọ ekwura frens like last 3 years in Nigeria, he kidnapped them. I paid 1 million naira.
Yeah. Shy.
And then they kidnapped them. They made out to the
okay. I be the go kwan wrap in a few days, weeks coming now. Ungano if an so wrap baby the go. Well, why you went about Wupuaya?
I don't have much to say.
Dalo. Thank you very much. Mbobunige Udode. Odemma. Obunige governor's broadcast yesterday. Maluna onwero na alarola. All hands are on deck for this, please. Thank you very much for calling us from Germany. Ubiadada. Thank you. Dalo. Odemma. PDP, P2B dumped PDP, his presidential aspirants with the party PDP. And what next?
So what has happened in PDP, not just P2B, Ike Ekweremadu recently left the party, Abaribe. So the political bigwigs in the party, I want to say that...
Why are they leaving? Why do you think
that is what I just want to talk about now. PDP has been a beneficiary of the Southeast over the years. Our people have contributed a lot in the growth of the party. We support the party. There were times when it was almost like the party of the Southeast. Okay? But now, I think our people are beginning to wake up from the slumber. That these people exploit us. They are not really for us. When you talk about what we've been having, the marginalization, recently everybody is clamoring for injustice, and we blame the government in power. Yes, the president ought to fix things. The political policies of the present administration, the measures he's been bringing in, appointment or know that disenfranchises the Southeast is one we should condemn. But generally, I think the PDP has more blame. Why? Because PDP was in power for 16 years and they were not able to do the necessary things that will make even the Southeast happy. We can't point out projects, we can't point out things that so that this feeling of unfair treatment, uneven-handedness, wouldn't have been there. But everything is now centered on APC because of the fact that they are. But in terms of projects, the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Second Niger Bridge, and spanning up to Obosi here, you see that APC even has done more than the PDP. So all of this, I think we're waking up to the consciousness that these people don't really love us, okay? The presidential aspirations of P2B under the PDP has reached the point when he could understand that these people are not really for us. Like I was saying, Victor told them that if you don't see your ticket to the Southeast, you should forget it. So what I'm saying is, so we have to wake up. What if they
come up tomorrow and give it to Anyim? Or
if he gives it to any other person from the Southeast, yeah, of course we'll support them. Okay. What we want is all the parties, any party that gives the ticket, because it is our turn.
Okay.
Because the PDP initiated the zoning formula, but when it is now obvious that it is the turn of, they've been running around the south, the southwest. Now again, it is the turn of the south, and you are negotiating. They said, okay, we have to leave it open for anybody. So if it doesn't come to the Southeast, then they should forget it. Right. Whoever gets it will support the person.
All right.
The one thing that is happening in PDP, not only PDP, all the bigger political parties, lack of internal democracy is their major problem. And Another thing is that their selfishness. If you don't get what you want, you will
Who's
not.
selfishness?
I mean,
Politicians?
generally politicians.
Okay.
If you don't get what you want, because one bad thing about politicians is that when we are going anywhere politically, you have interest. If you are crossing to a particular political party, you have your interest, what you want to go there to achieve. If you don't achieve it, you leave to another one.
Okay.
They don't have any manifesto. They don't think anything well about Nigeria.
No ideology.
The issue of P2B, some people may see it that it's being changed by the Northerners or whatever. It is, the problem is Igbo. P2B's problem in this presidential race is the Igbos in PDP. He went to Imo State. Emeka closed doors against him, which is the delegates who are supposed to come and vote. He went to Enugu. He was not welcomed by the governor of Enugu State. When he left to PDP, Wike came from River State. In short, they placed a red carpet for Wike.
So what's this conspiracy about?
I'm just telling you the truth. If you had listened to or you read what Oba, not Andrew, SLO, Chris Oba said about that yesterday or day before yesterday in a meeting they held at Enugu, the PDP caucus. If you read it, you will understand that even the SLO himself is completely against P2B.
What these people are doing is playing according to the projects of the party. The party they have a project presently. They are projecting it against the Southeast.
Then I'm coming there.
So these officials of the party,
the Igbos who are supposed to be
out.
protecting themselves are no more together. The divide and rule system has actually entered their fabrics.
Who divided them?
The political juggernaut in the north.
Thank you. Okay, let's move ahead. Leadership paper is our next paper this morning. The banner headline, all the papers seem to be saying the same thing, but let's see if we can get something different from these other ones. Okay. Obi Ekweremadu Abaribe Don PDP withdraw from presidential and governorship races. Amid protest withdrawal, PDP picks governorship candidates. APC aspirants face delegates today. Okay, that's from leadership. Let's look at Nation newspaper. Outgoing governors, men pick PDP tickets in states. It is primaries. Independent newspaper, Daily Independent is our newspaper this morning. The banner headline there says, accusations of hijack great PDP governorship primaries. And down here we have viral video on killings in Southeast may not be factual. This one is coming from the presidency. Viral video on killings in Southeast may not be factual. I think this is different from what we have seen. Maybe we'll come back to it, but before then, let's look at the Nigerian Tribune. Anambra mother, Soludo declares curfew in 8 local governments. And then the Nigerian Tribune banner headline here is, why Obi dumped PDP? This is what we have been trying to look at, but we are still going to talk about it when we will come. Okay, and then down here, APC Presidential Convention, consensus not ruled out. This one is coming from Adamu for closest screening panel. Consensus in APC not ruled out. Okay, The Telegraph. Obi quits as Northern elders push for North Central candidacy. PDP-backed consultations. Obi quits as Northern elders push for North Central candidacy. I think this one is different from what we have seen before. Okay, down here, expect tough response from security agencies. Buhari to ESN and IPOB expect tough response from security agencies. Okay, and beside here we have electoral loss, prominent senators, reps who lost return tickets at PDP primaries. With a rider, why Senator SVP's son retrieved vehicles, asked for a refund from delegates. We saw that one yesterday. Okay, APC Oyegun to share presidential screening committee. That's all from the New Telegraph. Okay, before we go, well, we'll look at other ones. Let's look at what will happen. I asked that question. Nobody has been able to answer me. Now that Obi has withdrawn from the presidential race in PDP, what next? Is he withdrawing entirely from the race? Is he likely to join another party? And if he does that, what do you think is going to be the outcome of what, if PDP eventually gives tickets to an Igbo man, somebody from the Saudis?
I think I'll answer your question.
Go ahead.
It is very simple.
But before you answer, please, let's take this call. Yeah, hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Yeah, good morning. What's your name? Are you there?
Good morning, ma.
Good morning, sir. So what's your name and where you're calling us from?
Okay. I'm Sunday. I'm not born from Achala Okano.
Achala Okano, Sunday. Okay, go ahead.
Achala Okano.
I know Achala now. Go ahead. Make a contribution.
Okay. Ma, I didn't know that ndị onye ahụ ya ọbụla egbu mmadụ Chineke kere mmadụ ọkpọrọ egbu mmadụ afọ so na ịga na akala ebe anụnwa ndị Fulani egbugo mmadụ na akala a ụfọdụ nte mmadụ ise nke mmalụ so na oge ụfọdụ ebe ndị mmadụ na-akọ ọrụ ebe ahụ akọ ọrụ ugbo abata ndị Fulani Chineke kata ebe ahụ na-abanaji ihe ndị mmadụ kọrọ n'ugbo onwe ha na-ekwu maka ya nke a bụrụ nke mbụ nke abụọ na ụzọ Aba last week ọ bụ na ewochi ime n'ụzọ Aba Dangote trela biko ndị mmadụ so mgbe afọdụdụ driver ọ ga-wetin you carry this man wee si na ihe ogbugbu nnu mgbe a ga-atọpụcha kapol owezi na mmadụ dadi ndị alụmajeri ka ebu na data Dangote ahụ new truck so mgbe m mere aka onwe action eji agentụ tebụl onwere ihe mere ajọstampa aha mepepara ndị ahụ pụọ mana ọ bụrụ n'ọwụ onye Igbo ka ebukọ ya wee ga-afụ ka ya ka ndị amị nọde polis nọde civil defense nọde road safety nọde ọ bụrụ na ndị Igbo ka ebi ha ka ahazi everybody come down mana enyere m ndị ahụ ahịa emeji ekiri ndị ahụ pụọ onwere ihe mere ha emega na-asị insecurity emega na-asị mega na-asị IPOB etere adọpụkọta anybody o mana ihe mere mere nwa nọta ike.
Okay. Dalo, thank you very much, Sunday. Thank you. Dalo, yes.
Yes, like you rightly asked, P2B dumped PDP. He did not only dump PDP, he has resigned from presidential race in PDP.
Okay.
You understand? He may join another party and begin to run, pursue his ambition there. He had that right, which nobody will tell you. It is only P2B when he has made up his mind, probably for wherever he wants to go, then he will let us know. Then as per why he resigned, because he made it clear that he's not desperate about it. He's not doing or die affairs. But he has just the agenda or the idea to change, to effect a change in the political system and the governance in Nigeria. So if he has just left the PDP and because he still wants to affect a change, he might go to another party. But the question is, if he leaves PDP, leaves APC, go to another party, how will he then affect that change? Because he can do it if he succeeds. Okay.
Ekweremadu joined APGA.
Abaribe joined APGA.
So do you see Obi joining APGA?
Ekweremadu, I'm yet to see the official statement about his joining APGA.
Okay.
But Obi, we find a Catholic Church. Now, if you are baptized in the Catholic Church and leaves to any other church, no matter how many, you are having the Catholic DNA in you. Or by Catholic, Mirichiku Catholic Academy Megi. So Obi started his politics, the one we know of, in APGA. He was governor of Anambra State for 8 years in APGA. So we all love him. The Indian Anambra will love him, okay? And APGA people will, I know, definitely embrace him if he comes back to APGA. And I think it's high time he returns home to his party where he's honored Because PDP people have failed to value the worth. Obi is not a common person.
Okay.
Here in Southeast, we revere him, in Anambra State especially.
1 second. Yeah, hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I want to talk to ABS.
You are in ABS. What is your name and where are you calling us from?
I mean ABS TV. I want to make comment.
That's where you are now. What is your name and where are you calling from?
No, but I'm not seeing the presenter. Are you the presenter?
Yes, sir.
No, but what I'm seeing here, some other person is speaking, not you.
Okay, sir. Ngwano, you may need to try again. Okay, while we were saying that, the Guardian newspaper now said 2023 Obi Quiz PDP eyes Labour NNPP tickets.
That's what I heard yesterday, that Kwankwaso and all that went to meet Obasanjo, and they are projecting it that way. But I don't think that would be wonderful. Okay, Obi has more of his fan base in the southeast. Okay, so if he joins Kwankwaso, NNPP, and what have you, some other people have equally projected that Tinubu and Kwankwaso they are having some understanding. So I don't see that happening for Obi to join NNPP, whereas earlier before now there's been this rumors about Tinubu and the other guy there. So if for him to be sure, so that he doesn't go somewhere else and get disappointed, he has integrity for having left PDP at this point, so he should go to a party that he is sure of, which I think he has a ground in APGA. He has a ground, he has the foundation already, having been the governor.
Okay.
So if he joins the APGA party and maybe with some other influential person running with him, then he will go places. At least for the first time, he would sell the APGA party across Nigeria.
Okay. But before then, I know that we have been expecting this mega party that will come and kind of break the bones of APC and PDP. And NNPP seems to be that.
NNPP is not the third party in Nigeria yet. APGA is the third mega party in Nigeria.
I know, but I'm going to Njaba. Secondly, this dumping of PDP by P2B happened immediately he came back from London. What do you think that really transpired?
But the fact is that there has been that conspiracy. So when he came back, he saw it, and he has been there before he left. There's one thing I've been saying this. If leaves PDP to APC, or he leaves APC to PDP, or he leaves bigger parties to the smaller ones, it means he's going to gestion his political, presidential ambition, because he cannot achieve it there.
Right. But he can make a statement.
The political arrangement in Nigeria has been so versatile that it does not favor the southeast or even the entire south.
Some persons have been contesting,
gentlemen.
They are still contesting, making their statements.
One day it will fall in their hands. Please, we are completely out of time. We'll have to go. I think we have given it enough bites. We are going to continue tomorrow. The discussion will continue even after tomorrow. Thank you very much, Mr. Charles Obi, our public affairs analyst, for joining us this morning. Thank you for coming.
Dalo, thank you for having me.
All right. And then Chief Okoye Njaba is also a public affairs analyst. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us.
It is a pleasure being here today.
Okay. And those of you that watched and that stay calling, please, no more calls. Don't worry, we're going to be here tomorrow. We keep talking, okay? That's what we're paid for. Okay, so do remember to join us tomorrow to continue the discussion. My name is C. Joma. Good morning.
ABS, Heartbeat of the East.
For decades, aloe vera has been widely used in several cultures around the world for different purposes. This wild tropical plant has been used by people for ages for healing and softening the skin, and also for hair care. The name aloe vera comes from two different languages, Arabic and the Latin. The Arabic word aloe means a shiny bitter substance, and vera derived from Latin means true. The aloe plant produces two substances, which are the aloe vera gel, which is 96%